Woke up the third day, and Dad said, I saw where we wanted to go. I saw the Malaysian Islands. I saw people on the beach swimming in the water. I saw fishermen. I just saw a new life.
Right.
And it ended up being a mirage. So, Mom then tells her side of it. Dad says, I got the boat. I'm waiting on the reef, and I'm just looking up into the mountains and going, are they coming? Are they going to come? Are they going to come? Are the guards going to see me? Is someone going to see me? And he sees it's just these people running down. And she said that she was carrying the backpack of our belongings. She gave me to someone else. She said, a strong young man that to carry Luan, and then because there were so many people in the boat, you couldn't bring it up to the shore because you couldn't push it out. So you had to be in there and you had to swim out, and you're just trying to run to get out of there because you have to hop on the boat and get out of eyesight
before they get back
up and look and go, what is that, right? Before they put up the binoculars and say, what is that? So you got a tight window, you want to run, but you don't want to make big splashing noise, and in the middle of it, these arms, I mean, you know how like just you running in waist-high water is making splashing everywhere.
For sure.
Imagine 67 other people doing that, right? And in the middle of it, the kid drops me. And so now it's like, hold on.
Where's the baby?
Yeah, where's the baby? And there's lots of babies, right? But it's like, where's the baby? Wow. Yeah, they pull me out of it. We all get in there, start climbing, bringing people into the boat. And then we start going, boom, that outboard motor hits a reef and it bends the rudder. And then Dad just says, I remember having to hop out of the boat and me and a few men trying to bend this rod straight so we're not going in circles. We didn't have any tools.
Yeah, no.
Right? You get it going and you start motoring off, but you can't turn the engine on fast because, so you're just starting to motor off real slow and just did not know if they were going to come up and see us or not. So we ended up, then Dad goes into the story of how every day at sea was a new challenge.
How many days were y'all at sea?
4.
4 days.
Mm-hmm.
So 67 people, 24-foot boat.
Yeah.
4 days at sea.
Yeah. Wow. And our goal was the Malaysian Islands.
Okay.
That was our goal. He says how there was one area of the very first thing that he had to navigate through, and he was just using the stars and what he had learned in the Army to navigate. And there was this, he says like there was this one island they were trying to avoid. They didn't have the gas or the time to go around the island this way, and they had to go this way for some reason, but you couldn't get too close to the island. And I was like, what's up with the island? He said, oh, it's a prison. So,
wow.
So there's guards there looking the whole
sure.
time. So you get too close, but you navigate around that. And the second day, there was a boat off in the distance, and they did not know whether to signal it or not.
Yeah.
And so you'd asked earlier, was the U.S. where you wanted to land? Absolutely.
For sure.
So the other, I have relatives who escaped, and they were picked up by other countries who were part of the NATO agreement that said, if you pick them up, you take them in as refugees and let them become citizens of
your country.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have uncle and cousins who were picked up by German boats. They now live in Germany. I have uncle and relatives, British boats.
They're
Yeah,
in England.
yeah, that's right. They're in England. Spanish boats, right?
Yeah.
So of all the good guys, right, anyone will do, but man, U.S. would be number one.
Right.
Now you had other boats out there that were the bad guys, like the guys who would say, I'm going to bring you right back.
Taking you back.
So it could have been North Koreans, it could have been Chinese boats, Russian boats, North Vietnamese boats. Could have been fishermen who would just say, you know what, I'm going to turn you in because I don't agree with what you were doing. Could have been people who just saw you and ignore you because they didn't want to get in trouble for helping you. It could be someone who did want to help you. But what they were most afraid of were the pirates. People who knew that you were escaping and knew that you were only bringing your valuables. And they wanted your valuables and your women. And so women like my mom would pack poison onto the trip with them. And if that happens, if it goes down that way, they were prepared to take their own life.
Wow. Crazy.
Yeah, right? And so this boat, the second day, they did not, Dad said he didn't signal it. He said it followed him. It never got closer, it never got farther, but he never knew what it was. Third day, water supply had sprung a leak.
Mm.
Rations were down to a capful.
So catful.
Capful per person. You get a capful. I was super sick. Mom had a bottle like this hidden in her bag, and she would get the people around her to hold up a towel, and her excuse was, "I'm going to change clothes." But underneath it, she was feeding me.
Feeding you.
Yeah. She was afraid that if she showed this bottle of water, everyone would take it. But yeah, we were down on gasoline because we were so many people, and then our water supply was low. Woke up the third day, and Dad said, "I saw where we wanted to go. I saw the Malaysian Islands. I saw people on the beach swimming in the water. I saw fishermen. I just saw a new life."
Right.
And it ended up being a mirage. And he was a little so crazy was everyone in the boat saw it. Everyone was hallucinating. They were so dehydrated. One person saw it, and the rest like, "Yeah, I see it.
I see it.
And you hear stories of people in the desert about them seeing water.
For sure.
It was the exact opposite.
Same thing.
And so Dad tells of that, how that moment, and when they realized it wasn't a real thing, and they kept on going that way, and it never would come up, and it would sometimes disappear, it was such a morale killer.
Right.
That on the fourth day, when there was another boat off in the distance, there was a big debate. What are we going to do? We're out of this, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
And he felt, it was his show. It was his doing, and he felt that he was responsible for all these lives. And he said, it was one of those decisions where I had to just decide.
Yeah.
And he knew his fate if it was the wrong decision. He said, your mom and you probably would have been fine, but I knew what they were going to do with me. So he just took out the flare and shot it.
Oh, wow. Okay, so he did have something to...
Yeah.
Okay.
Took out the flare gun, shot it, and he just waited. And just waited.
Yeah.
And he said it was the strangest thing. One boat in the distance became two. Just like that. He was like, what's going on? Man, it ended up being, the second boat ended up being a small tugboat that was pulling us in. And when they tied us up, they pulled us in, and they realized who it was.
Right.
They're like, it's the U.S. Navy.
Wow.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
And Dad said, Luan, I'll never forget it. You spend all this time fighting for your country and fighting alongside this country that you want to belong to. You spend 5 years plus in prison. You escape. You plan this escape. And you're at sea thinking you're at the end of your life and on your rope. And he said the moment that they pulled us up and we looked up, it was an LS destroyer ship, the USS Thomaston, big cannons.
Yeah.
And he said, all of a sudden, the clouds separated, the sun shined through, the American flag was waving, and he said all 300 plus soldiers were at deck at salute.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Crazy.
And they brought him in, and they found out he was a captain, so everywhere he went, they were saluting him captain. And of course, they fed us right away, gave us clothes. And they were out there looking for people like us, refugees. And the captain of that boat, of the big ship, he was talking to my dad, and he said, when we pulled your boat in, your little boat in, our little wooden one, it sank.
Unbelievable.
It sank, like, before the big ship could kind of pull up anchor and get going again. Our little boat sank. And he said, you were about another 5 days from the Malaysian Islands.